That car's in a state.
I'll do a PNC check on the number.
Oh, sorry, Hayes is still there. I'm sure he's spotted us. He keeps looking over this way. What do you think?
Oh, it doesn't look good, does it?
So, what do you reckon then, Ralph? Eh? E-Reg Fiesta, popular plus. It's got to be what?
3.5. I put in a new radio cassette a couple of months ago.
All right then, 3.5.
Keep the value, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, son.
Hello, Ralph. What brings you in here?
He's had his car nicked.
Went for lunch and found a parking space instead of a car. Just round the corner from the centre.
I said to him, it's only a matter of time. What with the young villains you got down there? Is it all right if I deal with it, son?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, right. Oh, and there's a young lady here. She's a bit concerned about It's your husband, isn't it, love?
Oh, you've decided to do something about it, have you? Well, it's about time.
He's in custody. She's a bit worried. Thinks he might throw a wobbly. What's happening? Reckons he's claustrophobic.
20 minutes I've been sat there. Do you treat everyone like this?
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute, madam. Has the arresting officer been informed?
No, not yet, son.
Son Hill, can I help you?
Searching for you now.
Yeah, putting you through.
Sarge? Ralph Morgan's had his car nicked.
Morgan.
Yeah, you know the bloke from the Argyle Centre?
Yeah, I know who Ralph Morgan is, Hollis. We did a PNC check on a vehicle belonging to a Mr. Morgan just a couple of hours ago.
Oh, sounds good.
Yep. Yeah, I thought so. Tosh Lyons saw this car being driven into Haynes Breaker's yard about 3 hours ago.
Either he's suspicious or he knows we're here. Either way, it's beginning to feel like a waste of time. Hey! Oi! That confirms it!
Well done, lads! No prizes for guessing who put them up to it.
DC lines from Sierra Oscar. Receiving?
Carver receiving, over.
That Fiesta Tosh got the PNC check on a couple of hours back. Just been reported stolen. The Morgan it belongs to is Ralph Morgan from the Argyle
We didn't see it
Centre.
come out again, did we?
Is the vehicle still in the yard?
Yeah, it's still in there, Sarge. One thing. When Morgan reported the theft, did he mention any damage to the vehicle?
Not as far as I know. Over.
A like a write-off to me. Yeah. OK, Sarge, we'll take a look. Out.
I'm sure I recognise that kid who was driving it.
He's never been in a cell before. He really hates small, dark places. And he's as gentle as a lamb, wouldn't hurt a fly. I can't understand why you've locked him up.
Look, I'm not promising anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Sergeant. I can't ask for more than that.
Hollis, I want a word with you. Now look, if someone claims that a person in custody has a potentially serious psychological condition, you take them seriously. Doesn't matter if you think they're doing a number. Check it. You cover yourself, understood?
Sarge, I found Ralph Morgan's car with him, Sarge.
Oh.
I know, it's quick, isn't it? Even by mile standards.
So who was it? Joyriders?
No, it was seen being driven into a breaker's yard a couple of hours back. Tosh Lyons did a PNC check on it. He thought he recognised the driver.
So you even got the person that nicked it?
Yeah, well, it's all a product of interdepartmental coordinated cooperation.
No sign?
It's not here, Tosh. You sure it didn't go out again?
How's it going? Found what you're looking for yet? Eh?
Could be amongst that lot. Hey? Well, you saw it, a virtual write-off. Maybe Tommy's providing a car disappearing service for the underinsured. Someone prangs your car, you only insure third-party fire and theft. You pay someone to make it disappear.
And claim it was nicked?
Well, it has been done, yeah. Well, think about it. Would you nick a car in that state?
Well, he pranged it when he drove it away.
No. He'd have dumped it.
You know what you're saying? We're talking about Ralph Morgan, fundraising pillar of the local community. An all-round good guy.
This Stephen Barry character. His wife's out front complaining we've locked up a claustrophobic.
Yeah, we got a shout an hour or so ago to that takeaway next to the Queen's Head and Artichoke. When we got there, Barry was going wild, smashing the place up.
Has he been interviewed yet?
No, Sarge. It's going to take a while. There's no interview room free and there's a few waiting.
What sort of state was he in when you arrested him?
Oh, he was drunk, Sarge.
And the owner of the takeaway is pressing charges?
Yeah, Barry must have caused a couple of £100 worth of damage.
Right. Pete, can we have a check on Stephen Barry, please?
Yeah.
How's he been keeping?
Good as gold.
Any noise?
No.
Right. Mr. Barry? Mr. Barry? How do you feel?
How do you think? Where am I?
You're in a cell at Scannell police station. We've got your wife out front. Going on about you being ill. You aren't suffering from any psychological condition that we should know about, are you?
No, what's she been telling you?
You sure you're all right?
Oh, what are you worried about? Think we're going to throw a wobbly or plead insanity?
John. What is it?
Sergeant Conway, he asked if you had a moment. He said, like a quick word.
All right. Keep it on then.
So, Sergeant, is Mr. Barry a claustrophobia or something? Really?
Did Sergeant Corrie say what it was he wanted?
No, Sergeant, you didn't mention it.
And these are all the registration documents of the cars you've scrapped today, eh?
That's right.
None missing?
No, that's it. That's a lot.
You sure about that?
Oh, aye. I'm very careful about it. Because it's illegal. Scrapping a motor if you don't have the documents. That's right, isn't it?
A blue Ford Fiesta was seen being driven into this yard early today. It doesn't appear to be here now. Can you explain that?
Oh, well, maybe somebody drove it out again.
No, it was definitely not driven out again.
Well, people coming in and out of here all the time. You can't expect me to notice everything.
We know it came in here and it didn't leave.
You seem very sure about that.
We are.
If someone was watching this place, they would have also seen a truck leaving here with a load of scrap on board. A lot of it in the form of ex-cars. Aye, makes you think, eh?
Perhaps Haynes isn't as clever as he thinks he is. Cocky little git. Well, we got the boy who's driving the car.
Whose name we don't know.
Whose name we don't know, but we'll do shortly. Then we got Mr. Morgan, and we definitely need to have a chat with him. If we rattle him ever so gently, he'll let something drop.
And you know who Mr. Morgan's best buddies with, don't you?
Sir,
What is it, John?
Ralph Morgan was in here earlier, reporting the theft of his car.
Oh, poor old Ralph.
Yeah, but we've since found out that the car was seen a couple of hours previously being driven into Tommy Haynes' breaker's yard.
It's been recovered, then?
I'm afraid not. It looks as if it's been crushed into a slab of unidentifiable scrap metal.
Scrapped?
Yes, sir.
Well, why would anybody want to steal a car and then have it scrapped?
I think CID are of the opinion that they wouldn't, sir. They're now handling it.
Yeah, about 17, 18 years of age. Dark hair, skinny.
Yeah, well, that narrows it down to a couple of thousand.
Yeah. He was in that kid's home. In what's the name road, you know, at the back of the park.
Eastbridge.
Yeah, that's it, Eastbridge Road. And he wasn't very bright.
Derek,
You have a couple of men watching a breaker's yard off the Windmill Road.
Lines and Carver.
I understand they've spotted a stolen car entering the premises. And they suspect the owner, Ralph Morgan, is involved in a fraudulent insurance claim. Is that right?
You appear to be better informed than I am on this one, Derek. I thought they were expecting a wanted villain to turn up. Ted, what is the current situation on Windmill Road?
Well, it's not too promising, I'm afraid. The surveillance has been rumbled, but there is one small consolation.
Would that have anything to do with Mr. Morgan?
You got it, that's right. Ralph Morgan. Quite a well-known figure. Runs the local community centre. Matter of fact, I think the Chief Inspector knows him.
Right, thanks, Ted. Perhaps we could discuss this in my office, Derek.
I think you're going to have to tread very carefully with this Ralph Morgan. Conway's sticking his oar in.
Oh, he's not trying it on, is he?
Look, Sunhill have been doing business with Morgan for years. I've always found him a very able man and sympathetic. He's on our side.
So he's a friend of Sunhill's. What are you saying, Derek?
I just want to make sure that CID are aware that strong-arm tactics could jeopardise a very valuable working relationship, that's all.
And that's it?
I want your lot to lay off him until I've spoken to him. All right?
He doesn't know anything about being claustrophobic.
Well, he wouldn't admit to it. It embarrasses him, you see. He never admits it. Oh, look, can't I see someone higher up?
Any luck? Dennis Blake, 3 counts of TDA. And it's all down to Ron's psychic powers.
Well, let's hope no one objects to us talking to this one.
Yeah, well, thanks, Ron. Oi, come on.
Well? Conway's showing an interest in Morgan all of a sudden. Doesn't want us talking to him before he does.
But it's got nothing to do with Conway. This is CID.
Derek!
Right.
What brings you here? Come on through the office.
I'll leave you to it then.
Thank you. She's a real diamond, that one. The place wouldn't run without her. Don't know how long we can hold on to her. Of course, she could be earning twice as much elsewhere. Something wrong, Derek?
Look, I think I better come straight to the point, Ralph. Your car.
Oh, you heard about her?
Yes, I heard about that. Look, I hope you don't mind me asking, but what kind of insurance did you have on it?
What do you mean?
Was it fully comprehensive?
No, as it happens. Third-party fire and theft. Why do you ask?
When you reported your car stolen, you put its value at $3.5 grand, right? So it must have been in pretty reasonable nick.
Yes.
Well, 2 of our officers spotted your car a couple of hours before you reported it stolen. It was being driven into a breaker's yard.
Breaker's yard?
They said it was very badly damaged. Looked like the suspension had gone as a write-off. CID suspect that the bloke who runs this breaker's yard is providing a service to people who want to make it look as though their car has been stolen. He disappears them. Then they can claim on their third-party fire and theft policies.
I see. And they think maybe I made use of this service.
So there was no damage to your car, Ralph?
You know what it's like round here, Derek. You pick up the odd scratch. In fact, there was a small dent on the offside, but the suspension was okay. Do you want me to make a statement? Oh, come on, Derek. You know me. I'll help in any way I can.
Hiya. DC Line, Sunhill Police. Dennis Blake. Is he here?
We tried down the centre.
What, the Argyle Centre?
That's right.
Spend a lot of time down there, does he?
Fair bit.
And does he know the guy who runs the place, Mr. Morgan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. He's doing him a few favours, references, that sort of thing. In fact, here he is. You can ask him yourself. Dennis? These two gentlemen like a word with you. They're police officers.
I've just spoken to Morgan. He's quite happy to come down and help in any way he can.
Good.
I'll call him.
He has no idea why the car should have been taken to a breaker's yard. And he says there was only a slight dent in the offside. Are you sure the damage was as bad as you said, Carver?
Yes, sir.
And the suspension?
I know what I saw, sir. So does Tosh Lines.
Could I have a word with you, Derek?
DC Carver entered interview room.
Has Dennis said anything yet?
No, not yet, no. You haven't said anything yet, Dennis, have you?
Oh, well, looks like a bit of overtime again.
The youth seen driving Morgan's car into the breaker's yard. We've picked him up. He hangs around the Argyle Centre. He's a friend of Morgan's. I thought you should know.
And you should know there are a number of young offenders down there. Morgan keeps them out of trouble. He doesn't employ them to assist in fraud.
Fair enough. I'm just putting you in the picture, Derek.
Someone doesn't look very happy.
Come on, Dennis. I saw you driving the car into the yard and I also saw you walking out again. We both did, didn't we?
That's right.
So why did you nick it in that state, eh? It was in a right mess, wasn't it?
Or was it you who smashed it up?
I didn't smash it up.
So what you're saying is that the car was in that condition when you nicked it, yes?
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh, come on, Dennis. Why would you want to nick a car that was virtually a write-off? Be a bit of a stupid thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I am stupid, aren't I? Thick as two short planks. Ask anyone.
No, I don't think you're stupid, Dennis. I think there was a very good reason why you did nick that car. So what are you going to tell us about Ralph Morgan, then?
Who says I know him?
Dennis, we know you go down the Argyle Centre. We know you know Ralph Morgan. Now, there's no point in denying it. Now, what's that mean? You don't think much of Mr. Morgan? You don't like him?
Bit of a soft touch, is he?
He's all right. Not like you lot.
Now, you see, Dennis, I'm very confused. Now, please. You say Mr. Morgan's a friend of yours and yet you nick his car. Doesn't make sense, does it? You did know that it was his car, didn't you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Of course you did.
I ain't saying nothing.
Did someone pay you to do it? To take the car to the breaker's yard?
Oh, well, I better go and phone Mr. Morgan. Oh, that's right, Dennis. He's going to come down and talk to us. He's helping us with our inquiries.
As for Ralph Morgan, he's always been too good to be true.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, it was obvious.
Hollis, go away.
How much longer are you going to keep him in there? Excuse me. I said, How much longer?
Look, if you want to wait here, that's fine. But it's up to you. It could be maybe an hour, could be 2.
I'll wait. Well, I can't just leave him in here, can I?
It's up to you, love.
Oh, don't you patronise me. I'm not your love.
Fine. Suit yourself.
Look, Dennis Blake has admitted he knows Morgan. He knew it was his car, and he's saying it was smashed up before he took it. I mean, what more do we need? Morgan put him up to it. He must have done.
OK, let's say all right, Jim. What does it give us on Haynes?
Well, he was helping Morgan screw his insurance company out of $3 grand.
We don't know that. OK, Haynes squashed Morgan's car for him, but can we prove it was for the insurance? At best, we can smack his wrist for not notifying the DVLC, and that's if his brief doesn't rubbish your witness. Now, come on, let's be realistic, Jim. Your Dennis isn't exactly state-of-the-art, is he?
What are you saying?
Maybe we should use our time where we got a better chance of a decent conviction.
And what about Morgan?
That's up to you, Jim. But as far as I can see, your evidence isn't exactly wall-to-wall on Morgan either.
Oh, and I don't suppose him being a mate of Conway's got anything to do...
You spoken to Morgan yet?
Not yet, sir, but he's on his way down.
What about the driver of the car? Has he come up with anything?
Yes, he has. And I'm afraid he's looking a bit iffy for Mr. Morgan, sir.
Thanks very much, sir. Hello, Ralph. How can I help you?
I'll come down to see a DC Carver.
Right. Just get him.
Do you know if there have been any developments with the car?
I have no idea, Ralph. Sorry. Hello, Jim. Mr. Morgan is here to see you. Right. He'll be right down. Hello? Yes, sir. He's just arrived, sir.
Well, hold on to him, will you, till I get down there. I want a word with him before CID interviews him.
Carver?
Yes, ma'am?
A word. What we're talking about here is using a degree of tact. Morgan's a highly respected member of the community. He's been very helpful to us in the past. You must be aware of that.
I'm aware that he's a friend of Conway's.
You have to be very careful what you imply, Carver.
With respect, ma'am, what does it look like to you?
If you'd like to take a seat, Ralph, someone will be with you in a minute.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Oh, so he gets his own waiting room.
Would you like a cup of tea, madam?
No, thanks. I've had your tea before.
John.
He's in the interview room, sir.
Oh, all right for some.
We're currently interviewing the person who drove your car to the scrapyard. He knows you. And from what we've ascertained so far, you're on friendly terms. So the question is, why would he steal your car? Now, let me finish. He also claims that the car was badly damaged before he took it. And our investigating officers are inclined to believe with him. Look, we're not talking about a small dent here, are we, Ralph? I've assured my colleagues in CID that, in my opinion, you are beyond suspicion in this matter. Now, I want the truth, Ralph.
Who paid for it? Come on, Dennis, it was Morgan, wasn't it? It was his car. He's the person who would gain from the insurance claim, nobody else. Why should anyone else do it? What are you saying? You paid for it?
I ain't saying nothing.
What's it cost for a car to disappear these days? What's the going rate, eh? Couple £100? You couldn't afford that, even if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, it's not always cash, is it?
What else is there? Come on, Dennis, you're making this up.
A new set of tyres for starters. Radio cassette, brand new.
I didn't ask or pay anyone to get rid of my car. But I admit, I did have an accident.
Is that right?
A blowout. I hit the curb and went into one of those...
I'm not really interested in how it happened.
I suppose I knew it was too good to be true when I found it had been nicked.
Yes, fairy godmothers being a bit thin on the ground these days. So you're still saying it was stolen?
It's Dennis Blake, isn't it? Look, all I can assume is he thought he was doing me a favour. I probably had a moan about it down at the centre, how I wasn't covered by insurance and whatever. He overheard, tried to help me out.
So he did all this out of the goodness of his heart, did he?
He's always trying to impress people. He's not the sharpest kid on the block, Derek.
Look, you put the value of the car at £3,500, which is obviously not the case. Can you explain that?
6 months behind with a mortgage. Seemed like a lot of money to lose.
You're a bloody fool.
Fair comment.
You do realise how this looks, don't you? What's at stake?
My job. Question is, Derek, what are you going to do about it?
You should have told me all this earlier. You know that. Now, I assume you haven't had a chance to put in your insurance claim yet? No. Well, it's just as well for you then, isn't it? Wait here.
Can I take him through now, sir?
2 minutes.
So, what's happening then, Jim? Can't we try and square it up for him?
Well, what do you think?
You're prepared to accept Morgan's word?
He has a reputation to protect. If he was going to pull a scam like this, do you really think he'd use somebody like Blake?
What about the fraudulent insurance claim?
He hasn't submitted it yet. He's committed no crime.
Assuming you're right about him not instigating the car's disappearance.
If this goes to court because some truculent DC's got a point to prove, Morgan could lose his job, even if he's found not guilty. And that way, nobody wins. Not the community, not the people who use the centre, and certainly not us.
And certainly not Morgan.
You got something to say to me?
I think maybe you're not seeing this one quite as clearly as you might. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Derek, but Morgan isn't the only one with a reputation to protect. I think you should perhaps look at this from the other point of view. See how others see your involvement in all this.
And what do you think my involvement is in all this?
I'm just telling you how it looks, Derek.
Oh, it's well iffy, and you know it, Sarge.
I know what it is. I expect they're in the same lodge.
Hollis!
At last, we've got the big white chief. Now, look, my husband's seriously ill and you've got him locked up.
I've got news for you, Jim. I've just told Conway that I think nicking the car was the kid's idea. I don't think Morgan's involved.
Oi, what about me? Anyone got news for me? Oh, no, I don't count. Don't count, do I?
Haynes did it for the stereo and the spare parts. A favour. It seems that he and Dennis had done business together before. So, looks as though you're in the clear. You were right.
Look, I'm sorry I've...
May I suggest, though, that you put a realistic value on your insurance claim?
What's going to happen to Dennis?
Well, he'll be charged with theft. And when your name's mentioned in court, you're going to have to handle the insinuations as best you can. Right, DC Lines will take a statement. Tosh,
Yes, sir.
statement here, please.
Right. Through here, please. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for your assistance.
Jim?
You want to count yourself lucky. I've been trying to get some assistance from him all day. But then that's the trouble with you lot. You've got no respect for other people's time.
Shut up!